One of the coolest things about Tbilisi is its public transport. It's excellent. They've even got their own metro system. Each station seems to be unique. As with the other metros built in the Soviet Union, they're very, very deep. The same here. It can sometimes take a minute and a half to get from the bottom up to the top. So the metro, although it's very good, it doesn't cover the whole city, but you can get where you want to go by metro as far as you can, and then come out and just jump on a minibus or a bus and complete the rest of your journey by taking another bus or two if you need to, for free effectively. The transport here is fully integrated, and you can do multiple journeys in the space of 90 minutes for the cost of one. Once upon a time it would have just been mini buses, and you still see them a little bit, but they're phasing them out and they're introducing these new long European style buses, which are much better, let's be honest. What's really cool is all the bus stations have places where you can top up your bus card, and also virtually all of them have a tableau as well telling you when the bus is coming, and they're usually pretty accurate. If your Georgian isn't up to much, then don't worry, they've got everything in English as well. Now, the next thing I'm looking for is really cool. There's not that many cities in the world that have one of these things, and this thing has been in operation for well over 100 years. I think obviously they've updated the parts of it, but the general system remains the same. Here it is then. It's a funicular, kind of like a cross between a tram and a cable car in a way. It looks like a tram, but instead of going along, it actually goes up. So here it is then, as you can see. Looks a bit like a little tram, but it goes up a very steep hill. So looking from this angle allows us a bit of perspective. See the tracks there going up to the upper area where there's a park. Tbilisi is an extremely hilly place, and that combined with some very hot weather means that transport in the city is very important, because it's not a city that's particularly walkable. You are looking at the world's first children's railway steam engine from 1935. Children's railways were very popular all throughout the ex-Soviet Union, and you can still find them in many cities. This one does still work. Now, one of the very coolest things about Tbilisi is that they've got these cable cars all around the city. At least in about 3 or 4 different places they're still operating. Great way to get around. Now, if you thought the last cable car was cool, there's another cable car that just starts there and goes all the way to the top of that hill where there's a lake. So it's about 3 times longer than the one I went on. If you look carefully, there, you can even do zipline from the top to the bottom. How cool is that? 2 people doing it. And then as well, in the background. Look, there it is. We've got the little car car. Now these ones are tiny. Then they're about half the size of the one I went in. The transport scene in Tbilisi is absolutely excellent, and things like the Funicular and the cable cars, you know, they're much more than just transport, aren't they? They're kind of entertainment in themselves.